What's going on, Vancouver? Welcome to the Vancouver Fitness Podcast. In today's episode 17, we're talking about weak-minded excuses, and this is going to be heated and passionate. By the way, if you don't know me, my name is Yoshko, and I am the host of this podcast and one of the co-owners at Kraken Fitness here in Burnaby. And this is my co-host, Brandon,
who's a strength and conditioning coach, jiu-jitsu black belt, and the co-owner of Kraken Fitness. And together, we have helped thousands of people across the Lower Mainland achieve their body composition and performance goals. So welcome to the podcast.
Roll the intro. Being in the fitness industry for the last 12 years, we've heard so many excuses. And not only have we heard a lot of excuses, we've actually used a lot of these excuses as well. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about kind of like 3 of the excuses that you probably haven't heard people talk about. And then we're just going to run through a bunch of excuses that we just hear all the time that just like don't need to be like talked about anymore.
We'll just knock them down one by one.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
So the first excuse that we're going to be talking about is going to be, I keep falling off track. So what's the point? And what my response to that is that everyone falls off track all the time, but successful people keep getting back up. That's the only difference. So I've had clients like literally drop off the program and say like, you know what? I'm just so tired of like just like having to restart and stuff. Like I'm just going to like give up. Like that's essentially what they're saying. They're just saying like, I just don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. But this is plagued all the time because social media, you only see the very perfect take. You don't see people failing and trying again. But the failures are the ones that you actually learn from. And if you can be a little bit more retrospective and look back on your failures and jump on, you're actually even a better spot than you were when you failed.
Actually, so I'm reading this book right now. It's called cybernetics, and they talk about how what you should be doing is actually just moving on quickly from the failure, not even looking back at it. Because if you think about like when you're learning, so let's say some kind of like new motor pattern or something like that, like in a sport, right? You make a mistake, let's say in hockey, and like you do a slap shot and then you like, I don't know, you mess up or whatever. Your brain, the way it functions is like it will completely, like it wants to forget that failure. And then it wants to learn the new pattern of like the correct thing right away and memorize that right away. And so that's how your brain's supposed to function. And if you look at your failures in life, like let's say you're trying to diet down and stuff and you've been trying to lose weight for a long time and you keep kind of like falling off the plan, you want to kind of just like forget that and move on. Just like, okay, why did that happen? All right, cool. Bye. Never going to think about that again. And that's the kind of the way that I look at like my past failures and stuff. Like I don't want to like dwell on it ever.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because dwelling kind of will give you that hindrance. It'll give you a little bit of hesitation, but it all just comes down to reps. Mm-hmm. Like in any industry, if you do more reps, then you're going to be more successful. So the more times you try to be great, the more times you'll fail. But the more reps you do, the more you learn.
So if you fall off track, and you're kind of like in that kind of weird lull, like trying to like get back on track, just know that like the best way for you to just kind of come out of it is to just keep trying to come out of it. If you're like, let's say like trying to quit smoking or something like that, right? Like chances are you're going to smoke again. But if the person who's going to eventually quit is the person who's going to just like, fuck, I need like next Monday, I'm going to throw this away. Next Monday, I'm going to stop. And you just keep throwing away your pack or whatever. And then eventually you're going to quit. But the person who will never quit is going to be the one that like tries quitting and they're like, I can't quit.
Yeah. Or the person who says like, on Monday, I'm going to quit cold turkey.
Yeah.
And then like when they actually fail and then by Wednesday they're smoking again, they're so disappointed that they failed that they're like, what's the point of even trying this anymore?
Let's pop you popped one tire, let's pop the other 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that's another thing with diet too, is like the best way to get back on track. You've talked about this before, I think, in some of your videos, but basically like if you don't track for one meal, for example, if you don't track your macros for one meal, who cares? But track the next meal, like it, and you can have like a estimation on the other meal, or you don't even track it at all, but at least like you're getting back on track, you know, like quickly, as opposed to somebody who's like, oh, you know what, it's Friday, I fucked up on Friday, I'm gonna fuck up Saturday, Sunday, and then I'll get back on track on Monday. Like, it just doesn't really make sense. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, or as long as you can maintain some kind of habit, like we were saying, is probably the best way to do it. So even if you're not doing it to the fullest extent that you were before, if you're maintaining some baseline level of habit, always easier to jump back on. But I kind of like what you always say to our clients. Well, they'll like screw up and they're like, it's not working, what do I do? And you're like, well, I might as well just quit.
Yeah, you might as well just give up.
You say it to them sarcastically and they look at you and they're like, wait a minute. And they're like, oh, he's just fucking with me. And then they just jump back on.
Yeah. So that was, I keep failing, so what's the point? That's like the number one excuse. I keep falling off track, what's the point? The second one is I'm not ready to start yet. And like we've heard so many people, like they sign up for the program and then like a week before, and then like something in their life happens, and then boom, like it's like, oh, I can't start because like my daughter's like had a bad report card. And you're like, what? Like, what kind of excuse is this? Like, oh, I can't start because there's too many birthdays this month. Like, you're like, what the hell? Like, if you're not willing to start on a month that has a lot of birthdays, then how the hell are you like gonna ever be able to maintain your diet ever in the future? Because every single month there's shit going on. Like, oh, I can't start in February because it's Valentine's Day. I can't start in December because it's Christmas and holidays. I can't start in January. I can't start, like, you could just keep going on. I can't start in summer because there's like drinking and alcohol. Like, oh my God, like you'll never be able to do it.
Yeah, it's just endless. And people will use that as a justification to just like not start at all. But I see this even more commonly in jiu-jitsu, where people won't start because they feel like they're not adequate or not good at the thing that they're starting yet. Like, for instance, they'll say, hey, I'm going to do jiu-jitsu in March because by then I'll be in the gym for a few months and then I'm going to be in shape and then I'm going to be able to do jiu-jitsu. And you're like, dude, you'll get in shape by doing jiu-jitsu.
Okay, so this is really funny that you're bringing this up because, okay, I'm just looking back at the reason why I didn't start jiu-jitsu earlier, because I had Phil, one of our instructors. He was kind of pushing me to do jiu-jitsu for a long time, and it wasn't until like maybe like a year or more later where I was just like, okay, fine, I'll go to this one class. But for me, it was more like I whatever I commit to, like I'm usually super committal, unless like something happens to me, like I get like a really bad injury or something. But like it's like, if I'm gonna do jiu-jitsu, I'm going to do jiu-jitsu. I'm not gonna just like try, like I'm not gonna try it. Like, this is something that's on my mind. I want to do this. Like, I'm committing. Like, so I need to find the perfect timing, like in my life, to be able to like commit to something like that, where like I like open up a schedule and stuff, and like I wouldn't have been able to give it 100% unless I started on that time. So I do see now that I do see like kind of the flip side as well, because like,
but then
it's not like I'm the type of person to like commit, you know?
Yeah, and I get that. But then people will say that completely around the other way, and they're like, but it's my dog's birthday in July 4th.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing. They're like, by then I'm not going to be 100% committed. But don't let like perfect be the enemy of good enough. Mm-hmm. Like, people think they have to have the perfect start to anything. But when is anything ever like optimally lined up? Like, when do the stars ever like perfectly align for the perfect start? Mm-hmm. They'll never be the perfect start. But people always think that like January or September are these like magical start dates in which they need to like hop in then. So then they're just going to treat themselves like shit all the way up until that point.
I'm going to play devil's advocate again, because I love like New Year's resolutions in September time for myself, because it does like, it is hard to stick to your program during summer and holidays. Like, I'm not going to lie, like 100% it is hard to do it. And I like using those months and seasons to kind of like be like, oh, this is my work season. This is my like fun season. This is my like, you know, like I enjoy doing those kind of things. So I agree, just to play devil's advocate.
But at what point do you just be like, okay, screw it, these goals are so important to me that it doesn't matter what the start date is, I'm just going to start it. And then I'm going to start it. Sure, I may stumble and fail during these X dates here, but then I'm going to learn from those failures.
Yeah.
Right? So then there's no I wouldn't say excuse. There's going to be times like throughout the year that are going to be harder. It's like if you wait for the most optimal time, those optimal times may not arrive. But at least if you get started, that way you can, again, create strategies. You can create plans on order and how to get over those troubling times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like, just because I'm using the seasons to get a boost is not like I'm just giving up on my freaking goals during September or during the summer and just waiting for September. Like, I'm still working. I'm enjoying the summer, still working, but I know that I like to have a hustle period, you know?
Right. There's an extra boost of morale during those seasons.
Yeah, 100%. And so, yeah, that's the kind of way that I look at it. But yeah, people need to just be ready more often because, like, the universe isn't just going to be waiting for you.
No. And then if we go back to, like, waiting for the perfect start because you don't feel like you're adequate enough, it's like, by starting and doing those things, you build the skills, you build the confidence to carry out those skills.
So one of these nutrition programs that I've joined before, so what he said was like, if you start right now where it's like hard to start, like you're starting in December, you know, like there's so many holidays and stuff, you will be able to, every single other winter holiday is going to be so much easier than this one. And because you're going to collect so many skills like so fast during those holidays. So you can look at it in a way as like, a little bit of a challenge. Like, sure, you might not be perfect, but you're going to come out of it being like, damn, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah. And if you like started it in the hardest time, everything seems easy.
Yeah,
right.
Totally.
And then from then on, smooth sailing. But again, that's what learning is about.
So the next excuse that we get a lot is like, I don't like how healthy food tastes and I only want to eat my like insert culture food here food. And yeah, this one's hilarious because it's like, yeah, fine. All right. You can just stay whatever way you want. Like, why'd you come here in the first place? Like, why'd you like not willing to make changes, then why'd you even call us?
Yeah. They don't want to actually inspect themselves and be like, oh, the things that I've been doing and the things I've been eating cause me to be this way.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to change myself completely without changing too much.
Mm-hmm.
When you say it out loud like that and you tell them like that, they're taken back by it.
Mm-hmm. It's like somebody coming up to you and being like, hey, I'm so tired. Like throughout the day, like I have to drink so many coffees. I'm like, you know, all these things, right? My sleep sucks. Hey, all you have to do is 90 minutes before bed, cut off all electronics, put on some blue light blocking glasses, and just go into bed and read. I know, but like I really just like watching like TV and winding down before I go to bed. Well, I mean, like clearly that's not working for you. Do you want to like continue doing it this way, or do you want to do it our way where we're going to fix your sleep and like you're not going to be tired anymore? Like, I don't know. Like I just like need to like I really need to wind down at the end of the day. All right, yep.
And then you use your most favorite objection. Oh, well, how's that working for you?
Yeah, how's that working for you? Yeah. And so that's like such a perfect example. It's like, yeah, like you're whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish in life is going to require changes, and those changes are not going to feel good. Like you're in this like super comfort zone, and with immediate gratification, and that immediate gratification like gave you the outcome of like what you're experiencing right now. Like either you're overweight, tired, lazy, like injured, whatever it is, and it's because like you like settled for immediate gratification, and the things that aren't really that fun or whatever right now, the things that are going to require work, like for example, going to bed earlier, suck. Like they're not great, like they're not fun, but they're the things that's going to make you feel really good in the future, and that's why we do them. That's why we don't drink alcohol. That's why we don't drink coffee, because we don't need that immediate gratification. The people who can like extend their time horizons the longest, and the people who can like forgo immediate gratification the longest, are the ones that are going to be the most successful in life.
But why do you think that healthy foods always have this negative connotation, like they're like not delicious or like something that you can't sustain?
So that's the thing. Like I really like it. So the people who we get the most saying like they want to stay with their culture's foods is like Indian people. But
I would say Asian people too.
Yeah. And then also like of course, but it's just that's the person who they get the most. And like the other day, like I'm just saying, like I think it was like maybe even yesterday, I was online and I was kind of just playing around my phone just to see like what kind of like if you can make any kind of like low fat curry sauces. Holy crap, there's tons of freaking freaking recipes online. Like I can find like 100 low-fat curry recipes. Like maybe they don't taste as great as the ones with like made with ghee and butter and stuff, but like it's still a really good substitute. So you can still eat your cultural foods without having to like completely let them go. And like, yeah, sure, you can have like some like higher fat biryani or whatever every once in a while, but you don't have to.
Yeah, like the spices that they use, like if you walk by like any Indian restaurant, it's not like you're smelling, oh, smell that butter and ghee. It's you're smelling the turmeric, right? You're smelling the curry powder. You're smelling all those spices that don't have calories or not the ones that are like going to add up to you putting you over a calorie surplus at the end of the day.
Yeah. And yeah, we have tons of Indian clients. We have tons of Chinese clients, tons of European clients who are still eating their cultural foods, and they're doing a great job. They just found lower fat options. That's it.
Yeah, like this is kind of fun for me thing to do is like take the dishes that my family used to do and then make it with something that's a healthy substitute, like making it with like chicken breast or changing out some of the heavier oils in it. And I can literally replicate the same thing, but with like way better macros.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of like tracking your macros and experimenting with that, because then you can find these recipes versus like if I were to just give our clients a meal plan, they'd be stuck with that meal plan, right? And then you're just going to be eating white food.
Yeah, and then they're just like, I can't eat chicken, rice, and broccoli for that long.
Yeah, or like an oatmeal.
Yeah.
But that's another thing too. Like you're also just going to have to just forego some of those foods and just say like, this food, I'm just going to eat it on a once a month basis. Or like a once every 2 months or never. Like, and that's okay. You don't have to eat it all the time. Like you can have, you're going to have to eat healthier. And that's totally fine. But so now those are our top 3 that we kind of want to talk about that people don't often talk about. Now we're just going to kind of run through and then make it like little points on like the next, like, I think we have like 8 here. One that we hear all the time is my genetics. Like my genetics, like I'm just built this way.
Or like my family has always had this.
Yeah.
So I have this.
Yeah, just my grandparents were overweight, my dad's overweight, so I have to be overweight. Meanwhile, in like the 1930s, like no one was overweight.
Right. It's just part of tradition,
Yeah.
Just carry on the family name.
Yeah, it's like it has very little to do with genetics.
Yeah.
I'm not going to deny like that genetics have a huge factor in the way that you look, obviously, but you can still look like the best out of your entire genetic line. But if you put in just a little bit of work.
Yeah, but people think that they're like, oh, my family's been overweight, so I'll never be Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But why are you striving to be Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
But why don't you just be the best version of you?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like social media just like totally mess people up.
Oh, terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, because the truth is like most people aren't going to look like the people on social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
But the thing is, you don't have to.
Yeah, you don't. I don't know. Why is that like such an ideal thing? But you can go on social media and see the complete opposite too. You can see people who aren't genetically predisposed to be a certain way. Like you'll see really tall jack guys running ultra marathons, right? Or like complete opposite way where you'll see like really skinny Asian women lift clean and jerk 250 pounds above their head. Right? You can go out there on the internet and see people defying their genetics or defying what their predispositions are. So why can't you?
Yeah. Like you can go online and find people without like limbs that are still working out.
Yeah. And then once you see that it can be done, why can't you do that?
100%. So the next one is that we hear all the time is I'm busy / no time / I'm busy / no time all the time. Yeah. Like first of all, you're not that busy. You're really not that busy. You watch a lot of TV most likely. And there's people out there that are way busier than you, like, and who have kids and have like so many things going on in their lives, and they're still able to do it.
Yeah, everyone has the same 24 hours in the day. What's the difference between you and Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Elon Musk is doing...
Does he lift, though? I don't think he looks like he lifts.
No, he does not lift.
He definitely doesn't look like he lifts.
But the thing is he's building rocket ships. He's like building like flamethrowers, Teslas, whatever, in the same 24-hour time. Right?
Yeah.
But if he prioritized working out like Jeff Bezos did, then he could be jacked.
Yeah. Okay. So that's actually a perfect example because that guy's jacked.
He is jacked.
dude, he's a specimen
Yes.
because he's tall and he's fucking yoked.
Yeah. He's probably on steroids, but
Yeah.
but he still makes the time for it, and he runs the most expensive company in the world.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one is I'm too tired. This one, oh my God. This one's a big one. I'm too tired. Yeah, the reason why you're tired is likely that you don't work out and you don't exercise and you get like 1,500 steps a day. That's probably why you're tired.
Run yourself all the way to the end of the day. Don't do a nighttime routine and sleep hardly anything.
Yeah, you still, even though you don't do anything, you still sleep for 5 hours per day. You hit snooze probably like 4 times, and then you lay around a lot.
I like Tanessa's advice on that. We're just like, just try out for a week. Just try out for a week to see how you feel, and if you like it, continue. And usually when you change those kind of habits and then you start to feel less tired and you start doing more things and you're on your way.
The next one is not enough money, but then they spend money on stupid stuff. Yeah, like this one's a big one. Yeah, like it's like they can't budget for the gym, but then it's like they go to like fancy restaurants and stuff all the time.
Or they have stupid like crocodile shoes.
Yeah.
But they wear like once a month.
Yeah. It's just like off topic, but fitness people who don't work out but still wear fitness clothes, like, oh my,
it's fashionable now. Okay?
Yeah, because it is. It's like everybody's wearing like Lululemon tights and like
you want to
just
look
Lululemon
like you...
in general. Lululemon's a workout apparel company, and like people who don't work out are wearing Lululemon.
I think that's a Vancouver thing. Oh, it's definitely a Vancouver thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a Vancouver thing.
Yeah, you go to like other places, not everyone's wearing Lululemon.
You don't think so?
Oh, they're wearing Lululemon, but not as much as they do here.
Yeah.
Here, everyone wants to look like they work out without working out as much as they can.
Yeah. So the next one is I'm not good at it / that they're scared to fail. Resonated with this one for sure. I've used this excuse that I'm not good at it. But that's why, like for jiu-jitsu, for example, I don't think I'm that good, but then you throw yourself in competitions, like you're like trying to chase that like feeling out of your head, and then you go sign up for a competition, and then you prove the fact that you're not good, or
well, there's performance anxiety. Like everyone has the same feelings. Like the person who's successful and the person who's unsuccessful have the same feelings, but the successful person is able to deal with those feelings much more better than the person who doesn't.
Yeah.
Right? They're able to push that to the side and just be like, you know what? I'm just going to put myself out there and try. If I fail. If I win, I win. It's awesome.
So the next one is a fear of judgment. And I totally resonate with this one. Not doing things because I feel imposter syndrome. Yeah. It's like you're starting to work out. You don't look like you work out at all. You're obviously not going to tell your friends that you work out just because you're worried about like what they're going to be thinking. And you think that people are judging you all the time. 100%. Yeah.
This one is hard to get around.
Yeah.
And I could see why.
Yeah.
But just like we were talking about before, if you take action over these things and you just keep doing them, that's when you gain the confidence, and then you actually become the part that you're trying to be.
Yeah, for sure. The times where I felt this was obviously like when you're starting something new. It's definitely hard to like. I think it's just a part of
human nature.
Yeah, like you're gonna start something, you're gonna suck at it, and like you're gonna feel like everybody's judging you and stuff like that. And yeah, like I think it's just part of it. And the people who do the best are the ones that just ignore it and just keep plowing through. I think those are all the excuses that we wrote down. Can you think of any other ones that we hear a lot? Yeah. But I think that was like, I think a 10 or so right there. And I'm just going to kind of run through them again. So we had, I keep falling off track. So what's the point? I'm not ready to start, which is like, you'll never be ready. So you might as well just start. I don't like healthy food / I don't like doing this like healthy habit that is going to require work. And so therefore that's why I don't want to start. My genetics, I'm busy. I'm too tired. I'm too old. Oh, we didn't talk about that.
We didn't talk about
it. I'm too old. Yeah. So I'm too old. Yeah. We hear that a lot too. Sometimes a legitimate excuse, but it's more just like you're too, you didn't work out for so long that now that it like you like, it's really hard for you to get into it.
But it's like the genetic thing where it's like, you can go on social media and you can see people who are your age or older doing crazier things and starting from absolutely nothing. Do you know who like the jiu-jitsu grandma is?
Yeah.
You've seen her?
Oh wait, sorry. No, when you said that, I like pictured a powerlifting grandma.
I'm sure there's a powerlifting grandma too.
Yeah.
But there's a jiu-jitsu grandma. She's
How old
like
is she?
really famous. She's like well within her 70s.
Damn.
And she started jiu-jitsu when she was late 60s, early
What
70s.
belt?
She's a blue belt now.
Damn.
But you'll go to tournaments, you'll go like worlds, and everyone's taking pictures with her because
Really?
she just got in there and she just stuck with it. She's a living legend now.
Wow. Yeah, so it is possible. And but the thing is, like, so you're too old and that you feel like obviously like you're not in your 20s anymore, things are hurting and stuff like that. But these things are gonna make you feel better. So you like just might as well just do it.
Yeah, this one gets paired up with, oh, just wait till you have kids. How's it been since you had kids?
I feel completely fine. Yeah. Oh, I think like as soon as I hit 30, like I swear my joints have been hurting slightly more. I don't know like, why, but I swear I feel that a little bit more.
Yeah, that was like me the next day.
I think it was the next day, yeah.
29, when I woke up, 30, my elbow started hurting. Just how it is.
But yeah, just ignore it and just keep plowing through it. And then the other ones that we talked about was not enough money, I'm not good at it yet / scared to fail, and then also fear of judgment. And we're just going to wrap it up with that. So yeah, if you've heard yourself say any of these excuses, know that they're complete bullshit. We've all used these excuses before. I think I've pretty much used every single one on here before to some capacity. And it's completely normal. You just got to chase it out. Just recognize what it is. Just a bunch of excuses.
That's it. Just drive in there, do your best, and ignore what other people have to say. Fuck them.
All right. That's pretty much it. We'll see you in the next one.
See ya.